Dan, housekeeping, or otherwise known as FP1, start of the season, sun shining, smile on your face. Just some thoughts on that housekeeping so far.
All the teams sort of have their own routine or way of doing it. We very much try and get as much of that out of the way early on, just tyre prep, things like that for Sunday. And then we obviously get into some running. It's slightly different here because the carryovers are brand new, so you kind of got to get on with it a little bit. But yeah, we found out that we've got a bit of a different balance to media day, which is not unusual here. Donington's can be a bit of a strange one. We found an interesting track when we arrived last week, and we found a different track when we arrived this week. But that's just Donington's nature. So a lot of the stuff we did last week, the engineers are looking at each other now going, should we scrap that off then and go back to what we used to have? So it's all good fun. Everybody doing the same up and down the pit lane. We've got obviously more to come, I'm sure. Another session to get our heads in the game. So far so good. I think at the moment, that lap from England looks pretty ominous. I think that's pretty clear to everyone. So let's set a marker down early. Something to chase now.
FP1 is always that session where it's good to finish at the top, but then everybody says, well, it was only FP1. But actually everybody does just check the timings out, don't they?
Yeah, I think everyone still has a little look, and you kind of know if you've got more to come or if you've got where you are. Like I said, that one's a little bit different because it's kind of you kind of got a new tyre on straight away, but not everyone will be set up to have a new tyre on straight away. We certainly weren't. We just didn't have the balance there to do the lap. So yeah, we'll see. But no, that lap from Tom certainly looks pretty ominous to me. So we'll see.
Just finally, track limits. A lot of people talking about track limits. I've just followed Dave White down the paddock, and he's got lists and lists and lists to talk to people about. Your grimace, is that a grimace or a...
I think it's I understand why they've done it, and I appreciate it that there's a cost element in all these things, and they've invested a lot of money in this new technology, which is great. But for as long as I can remember, we've never monitored the entry curbs, and now suddenly we are monitoring entry curbs, not just exit curbs. So for me, it was the way it was before. The tyre stacks. At least you knew where you were, and it was the same for everyone. If you hit them, that's your fault. Now we have this grey area where hopefully they're going to catch people that cut, but if they don't, I understand that everyone's saying, well, you're big enough and you should be doing it. And that's not the point. Like we all could do it if we want to, but there's an advantage if we don't. So how are you going to stop a racing driver from finding an advantage? It's everything we're here to do. So I'm just trying to keep an open mind on it. I'm trying to drive it what I think is respectable. I'm sure there's laps that I've done that weren't quite on the money. There were certainly laps that I did where I did get track limits on the exits, not on the entry. So that's just purely on me. That's fixable. Obviously, I don't know. Maybe I'll find out if I did get any at the actual chicane, which is for me is the key bit of this whole sort of track limits scenario we have this weekend, because it's a massive time difference if you were to cut there. Yeah. So
that could be the corner. That chicane could be the win or lose this weekend, couldn't it?
It's massive. Yeah. I mean, if you happen to come through there and you do cut a bit more than you should and you get away with it, that'll be enough to move you up quite significantly, and that's obviously what we're all worried about. We're all happy to do it, just please tell us that someone isn't going to fluke it, but hey, we'll be all right.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.